Hey YouTube, welcome back to the Force Feed. I'm John, and we are going to discuss the recap of the Cestus Deception. If you hadn't caught the first two videos, my overview of the book, as well as my interesting things I found about the book, make sure to check those out. Now we're going to discuss just a recap of the things that happened and how it really factors into how I feel about the book. Like I said before, I don't believe this book is going to be canon. It's not a significant book to bring into canon. It's a small legend story. Definitely an interesting story. It really brought out a different side in Kit Fisto and ObiWan when they engaged in the deception they had, trying to convince the five families and the regent into siding with the Republic, and not something I expected to hear from them. Although Kit Fisto really displays a darker edge to him in this book, and that's probably just his regular personality. I don't think I've read a lot of books talking about his personality in them. I know he was one of the cooler looking characters when episode 2 came out, and everybody instantly said, "Who's that big bug-eyed dude with the big whips in the back of his head? That guy looks awesome." That was everybody's favorite character right away, it felt like, and nobody even knew who he was. But he definitely has a darker edge to him. He uses Form 1, which Form 1 is one of the more aggressive forms, just behind Form 7, the Vapid form that Mace Windu uses. And there are plenty of situations in the book where it feels like Kit Fisto would be likely to turn to the dark side if he was just nudged the wrong way. So that part of him is interesting, and I don't know if that's something that would have ever happened to him, but I guess we'll get into that into further books possibly. Obi-Wan was, besides the deception that took place, was definitely on point as Obi-Wan. He was the negotiator. He was witty at times. There was no Anakin in this book. It was just Obi-Wan and Kit Fisto. The clones were definitely interesting. They run into a band called the Desert Wind, which is this nomad faction that on Cestus that I guess it has problems with the five families and Cestus Cybernetics at times. I think they're kind of viewed as a terrorist group, and they side up with the clones to try to help fight against the power of the five families. But overall, definitely a book I would recommend. I think everybody would really enjoy this book. I'm going to give it an 8.2, and only because obviously my ratings are very based on the significance level of the book. Does it play a significant part in the overarching story of Star Wars, and how does it really affect everything that has happened in the history of Star Wars? And this is just an obscure story about Kit Fisto and Obi-Wan, basically on sort of what was supposed to be a diplomatic mission, and there is a bombing that takes place, but overall that doesn't really affect what happens during the Clone Wars as a whole, so not something I can really count in that sense. But I want to appreciate everybody who stopped by to watch my recap and review of this book, as well as the other two videos. Make sure to check those out if you haven't. Also, remember there will be a link to purchase this book as well as the next 3 books that I'll be reading in the description below. And may the Force be with you all. Everybody have a great rest of your day. Thank you.